All right. Hello and welcome to Addressing Atheism, episode 2. So I think by now, people are going to want us to go over the kind of core column or foundation term atheism. So I think we should do that. But I'm having doubts about the name of the series already. I kind of want it to be addressing secular comments. I would really like it to be that as well, because it gives off the abbreviation of ask. Sounds quite nice. But anyhow, the tie. Check out the tie. Hello. Very nice tie. Kind of bunched it up here this time. But anyhow, and I added this. Looks a little sophisticated. Anyhow, to the term, there's kind of two parts to it. The first part is kind of a lack of belief in God or gods, which you have to notice right there. No knowledge claims. So then the second component to it is and or the position that there is no God or gods. So the knowledge claim. The problem with that is quite simply, you can't know that. You can't know that God or gods don't exist. That would be an unobserved religious belief. So, at best, one could do there would be to try and be agnostic, since you can't know atheism to be true. So one would have to be an agnostic, which would be more along the lines of unsure and God being kind of impersonal. So anyhow, yeah, it is just a silly claim. Us stuck within time, within creation, can observe within our time, within creation, and then to claim something like that, God outside of time, transcendent to time, outside of creation, transcendent to creation. Yeah, quite an interesting comparison there. But let's dish out God's own reply to this sort of a, kind of the claim of atheism here. So let's go to Romans 1:19 through 21. Here we go. And then we'll get into the actual show, because this is just a bonus we're tossing in here. And then maybe at the end, as another bonus, I'll give a little prayer. So we haven't done that yet about the series, so we should do that, ideally, at some point. We'll see how far we get. The last episode was shorter than episode 0, which is probably a good thing. Listening to me rambling. But anyhow. All right, here we go. Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God hath shewed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse, because that, when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, having to come up with an alternative, nature itself, and their foolish heart was darkened. So that's God's God's response to the sword, I think. So anyhow, let me give you the basics of the show now that we're five and a half minutes in. So here's the lowdown on the show, addressing atheism. Oh, it would have been nice to name it the other things now. Oh, I'm so finicky. All right, so what we do is we find out there on the internets, or the interwebs, whatever they call it today, whatever the cool kids are calling it. We find an atheist type comment. We latch onto it. We grab it. We add it to a bucket list to tackle. And then we bring it on here onto this show to tackle. So that's what we do. So hopefully it becomes quite a neat series. Certainly a thing I can do with my time better than other things. I'm no expert on this and that, but nonetheless, let's try and do our best to answer this one. Reply to this comment out there. All right, so how do we best address those, quote, Christians, end quote, who see non-white races as inferior, and how do we change their minds? Very, very good question. I like when these are questions and they're not just crazy militant comments. I really like the questions. I'll do my best to answer this. Not that I might give a perfect answer or anything like that. I'm no expert on this and that. But as far as races, I think this guy's talking about like KKK type people. But as far as, non-white races, there's only one human race, mankind. Adam, Eve, so forth. All from Adam and Eve, Genesis. So that would be the way. How to change their minds? Use Scripture. Scripture is our sword. You use Scripture. So you be quoting Genesis, Adam, Eve, offspring, the bottleneck at the global flood, Noah, his wife, Shem, Ham, Japheth, their wives. So all from Adam and Eve, just descends. So we are all of mankind is related to one another. So technically, taking it back, any potential viewer related to me, aka common sense that one should care about the other. That's the other thing. People can get so worked up about this and that. Atheists are not the enemy. Satan is the enemy. Not atheists. Atheists are the mission field. So, on some basis, they're a good thing. So, but it's interesting what's all the different things happening with the country right now. Statues and symbols being taken down and stuff like that. But anyhow, we're veering off course. Of course, we're going to take a while to answer this. But yeah, in terms of races, there's one human race, Adam and Eve, so forth. The flood bottleneck of Shem, Ham, Japheth, and their wives, all from Noah and his wife. Well, not not the sons' wives. I don't think. I've never heard anyone claim that, but maybe it would be possible. Never thought of that. But anyhow, how do we change our minds? Yeah, you change your minds with Scripture. You use Scripture. But anyhow, let's get into the what I think that this person's getting at, which is the KKK type stuff. As far as I'm aware, it's pertinent to back in Genesis. They believe something way funky outside of Scripture on their own. It's not within Scripture. They just take it to an extreme, make it whatever they want. So it's just stupid, absolutely stupid. So let's get into the verses on that, which pertain to the mark of Cain. I think that's what this is about. And maybe it has the theistic evolution type component to it as well. So, like I say, I'm going to try and address what I can, but I'm kind of go left and right. But anyhow, let's, what chapter was it? Dang it, I don't remember. Anyhow, verses 8 through 11 here, and then we got more of it, so 8 through 15. Had to be I think it was chapter 4, because that would be post-fall. Chapter 3 was the fall, so chapter 4 is probably pertaining to afterwards with the offspring, Cain, Abel here. All right, so 8 through 15, let's get going. And Cain, I'm just giving the backstory for the question. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. Right off the bat. Just the first generation. Adam, Eve, the first generation, the first bit of offspring. The first murder, right there. Wow. Just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But anyhow, we got to continue, or else it's going to take forever. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood, almost a tongue twister there, crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. So he murdered, and he was worried about getting murdered, which means there's others out there at this point. So, pretty much, I think. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So, Cain did this murdered bit. He got the mark to protect him. And Seth becomes the chosen offspring to continue the line to eventually Jesus. So, and there's another verse I didn't get in the notes here, but I don't know. There's something about Seth versus Cain. Maybe that has to do with the sons of God type thing. I'm messing up, but anyhow, we got it. Getting to the meat and potatoes of it. You have, as I said, Babel. You have Noah's. In terms of race, there's one human race. For Pete's sake, one human race. Racism is stupid. Absolutely stupid. You might have different people that might be different, that might be, a little better at this or that, but, there's no grounds for racism. That is just dumb. Absolutely dumb. Racism is crazy rare. I can't say I've never seen it, but I can say it is very, very rare, and just stupid. But yeah, we all go back to Noah's 3 sons and their wives, and then Noah and his wife, and then back to Adam and Eve. If we're all descended, we're all related, and there's no basis. There's no grounds for racism, thinking one line of descendants is superior to another somehow, and that, this and that is just dumb. So all human life related back to Adam and Eve. Eve was from Adam's side, Adam from God. So then if you think about marriage, this gets kind of awkward. This gets a little bit awkward. So marriage, just interjecting a side topic into here. And I was thinking that I wouldn't be able to stretch these out to a normal episode length or whatever you would think is such, like 15, 30 minutes. I'm telling you, we're not going to manage that on every one. I am telling you. If we do, then maybe this is what I meant to do or something like that. Who knows? But anyhow, the marriage bit. Given that we're all related to Adam and Eve and all from them, we're all descendants of Adam and Eve. Given that, if you think about marriage, a little weird, gonna admit, a little weird. No matter what, whatever mate you pick, based upon whatever, whether it's looks, fame, money, or just love, or whatever the case, or a combination, no matter what, is essentially, on some basis, incest, because you're all related. So that's a common thing that's poked about with Genesis that I see, which we will tackle. We will tackle with a level attitude, not on a high horse. We will tackle it, even though it's just mocked and scoffed and mocked and scoffed. I have every intention to tackle that topic. We will deliver on that topic. I intend to, anyhow. I'm getting over a cold really well now. So, yeah, didn't have any intention of dying off from a cold. Hopefully not dying off for quite a while. At least that's my plan. I would hope I have a lot to do before then. Make an impact like a crater. What's a crater? Crater. Anyhow, we're having fun with this. That's a good sign. We're going to botch. We're going to mess up. It's just what it is. All right. So marriage, because we're all related, side topic, it's all, in a sense, incest. Um, so to the people who make fun of that, the militant ones, um, think about it. Think about it. But even on that side of the fence, on the secular side of the fence, they take it a step further and say, all life is related. So it would still be incest in a sense. So very interesting side topic. So, but we'll give an answer to that in terms of, the Old Testament and Genesis there, and Adam and Eve's children. Some of that I see is just skewered beyond belief. They don't want to find truth. They don't want truth. Some of them are just beyond bonkers, not worth responding to, but nonetheless, I have the intention to respond. So we will deal with them in due time. I love a good atheism comment, or atheist comment from off the web. I see some good ones here and there, and we pick them like a nice apple. We pick them to use later. So on this show. All right, so, and then I went at him a bit here in the nose. If atheism is true, then why would you poke fun at incest? There would be nothing wrong with incest. It's just your perception. And believe it or not, that type of a thing is being kind of promoted in the media today. It's just bonkers, absolutely bonkers. And a world of other things, but I don't want to get too political on here. So, but anyhow, to give a short answer, once it was becoming a genetic issue and causing issues, God steps in, declares it wrong, declares it morally wrong. So before then, it wasn't an issue. It wasn't declared wrong. It wasn't causing problems. Our genetics information was better, less flawed. The closer the similarity, the more of a overlay of the mutations and defects you would have, which just gives off like an amplification. So people are having to marry further and further, which, sometimes I ponder, if that's the case, then how far would one eventually have to marry off, Not that one wants to marry close. I'm just saying, if it is becoming a bigger and bigger genetic issue to marry however close of a tie within your family line, if that eventually spreads out crazy wide, then that's going to be a huge issue eventually, if it just spreads out forever. So it would seem genetically we are pretty much doomed. So that's a very interesting topic as well. But anyhow, going back to the KKK type stuff, I think there's a clear agenda type thing going on. We got the New World Order trying to be brought about, and the columns of it are being pushed. Is this and that coincidence? Is, God being kind of taken out of schools in a sense. 1963. Is that a coincidence? No. No, 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 no. No. That was a domino. That was a domino. That was a domino of a much longer line of dominoes. It's all part of the plan. But the New World Order, a one world government type idea, paralleling Babel, it's a counterfeit of God's plan, of his planned kingdom. So I would imagine that some of this KKK garbage, hopefully I got it right, what I was dealing with, I don't even know if I got into it. Oh man, I'm getting really distracted. It's late. But anyhow, they believe the 26 and a half minutes in or whatever. They believe that because of this mark that blacks can't be saved. Blacks can't get saved. That's just dumb. Absolutely dumb. So you don't find that in Scripture. You do not find that in Scripture. A lot of blacks have been very, very good, very, very good Christians. So it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Not that our goodness gets us saved, it's our faith on Jesus. Not our works, nothing to do with our works. None can earn salvation. It's a free gift. Otherwise, people would have to work for it, and certain people could unfairly get it, and it just wouldn't be fair. It would be tipping the scales. Some people would be able to, work for it, and others wouldn't. If someone was paralyzed, they couldn't work for it. So it's a fair system. Just make it a free gift. You either accept or deny it. Very, very fair system. But anyhow, I really think I don't know what number of the KKK, but I would definitely think that a number of them are fake, just for the perception of it. If you look at the media, whenever there's something that could possibly imply racism, they push it 24/7. They just are like piranhas. Why would they do that? They want racial tensions. And the solution? Christianity and the Bible. We're all one race. The media is pushing all this racial garbage. When this and that doesn't, there are certain cases where it's a minor thing of this and that, but most often the case it's contrary. The numbers are far different in proportion. There are very few racist cases of this and that, and much more same skin color violence. So, but they don't want to say that. They want to control how you will react. They want to get you fired up. They want to get you angry. It's a stupid divide and conquer technique. If the powers that be can get whites and blacks, white-skinned and black-skinned people, which it ain't bad to say that. It ain't bad to say that. It's not like they're swear words. Descriptions. If they can get black-skinned people and white-skinned people to fight, we're blind to anything else. We're blind to anything else going on. That's what they want. Another very interesting counterfeit type thing is the seal of God versus the mark of the beast. That's a very interesting thing with Revelation. So, but anyhow, yeah, to just kind of try and finish this off, man is man. Black and white aren't bad words. They aren't racist words. The amount of, the darker skin tone type stuff is just pigment in the skin, pigment quantity in the skin. Or not pigment quantity, pigment, and then melanin, the quantity of melanin in the skin affects the shade, the pigment. And then, with genetics, you have certain traits becoming dominant. Likewise, one of the three sons of Noah and the wife, one of the three of them would have probably had, the dark-skinned. One of them probably light, and one of them probably a mix in between, something like that. So, certain information, la-di-da-di-da, and the information gets messed with over time. But all that is, speculated to have been within Adam and Eve. All the skin tone combinations. So, and then who knows because with the Noah's wives, that could have added, a whole lot more spectrum possibility as well, maintained, depending on what the sons were as well. But anyhow, you could look up Oda Benga. Oda Benga, very interesting. He was a dark-skinned guy, and he was treated like a monkey, caged like an animal. I think he was caged with the monkeys and animals, and he just had dealt with enough, and he suicided. Not good. And then there was something about, maybe he was one of the ones that was taken from Australia or something like that. I forget the case. I don't think it was that. But anyhow, there was a bit about Australians being killed off because they were thought of as more less evolved, and then they were hunted down and their bones, their skulls taken to be studied. Just bonkers. And then you had Hitler, who kind of wanted his master race. And of course, if you're going to try and rule the world, you're going to choose your own race as the master race. And him trying to eliminate the inferior, his enemies, the Jews, millions of Jews. And then that would propel his race to evolve further, and killing off the inferior would leave more room for his race to be sustained. This evolution type stuff is very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. Same thing with climate control or climate change. Climate change, very, very dangerous. It's propaganda. Both of those type of things. Look up the Georgia Guidestones. There's a command on there where they want to kill off all but 500,000 to better maintain control of folks and keep the earth at a whatever lower population limit, which is just bonkers. What does that mean for the rest of us? That they would have to kill off 8.5 billion or whatever the case. So those kind of things are not good. Not good. Also abortion, murder, not good. Anyhow, we're taking way too long on this. We're probably going to make it longer than the first episode, or technically episode 0. But anyhow, I think we're about done here. I'll skip the prayer bit for next time, if we have time next time. So conclusion, KKK is stupid, beyond stupid. Evolution, just crazy dangerous. Climate change, propaganda, very dangerous. The end goal there is for people to be killed off to justify saving the planet. So, bonkers end game there. Not good. So, anyhow, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Next time is episode 3. I wonder what we'll have. So, I will see you up ahead. Take care, cool.